What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus check update, the stimulus package update, pretty much everything going on here in our country, daily news, money, investing, the stock market. Happy Halloween. Let me know if you guys are doing anything special for Halloween, if you're passing out candy. I will have some special Halloween guests on the show later today. In one of our episodes later today with some Halloween costumes and some spooky guests for you guys later in some of our episodes later today. So make sure you don't miss those later today. Let me know if you guys are passing out candy or doing anything special. We got a lot to talk about with the stimulus package and what's going on with our country. We have new voting dates and arrival dates of when the stimulus package might be getting to the finish line. Yes, as well as new demands for the stimulus package. And we'll be hearing from Pramila Jayapal on the stimulus package and what the Progressive Caucus wants to do. We got a lot to talk about here in this video, and let's get right down to it. Couple things on the top. The Biden administration and the U.S. Department of Education is seeking to prevent Florida Governor Ron DeSantis from blocking the flow of federal funds to Florida schools. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has blocked two Florida school districts, their Florida school funding, because they have implemented mask mandates, and now the U.S. Department of Education is looking to prevent the flow of that money from being blocked via judges or via lawsuits. Check this out. The U.S. Department of Education asked an administrative judge to block the state of Florida from slashing federal aid money to two school districts over their mask mandates. Federal education officials filed a complaint with the agency's Office of Administrative Law Judges, seeking a cease and desist order against Florida, as well as a ruling that the state is in violation of federal law. The filing comes a day after Alcoa and Broward counties said the state reduced their overall funding because they received federal grants meant to offset state penalties for mask requirements. Quote, this action taken by the department comes after we made repeated requests to work together and protect students, educators, and school communities, said a U.S. Department of Education statement. Quote, we believe Florida's actions have violated federal law by reducing state funds based on the receipt by districts of federal funds. This legal action is the latest in a back and forth between Florida Republican Governor Ron DeSantis and the White House over virus regulations. Separately on Thursday, DeSantis announced that the state had filed a lawsuit against the Biden administration over its virus vaccine mandates for federal contractors as well. Governor DeSantis is widely believed to be eyeing a 2024 presidential run. The state of Missouri could lose millions of dollars in federal rental assistance because it is not getting used fast enough. Yeah, a lot of states are getting criticized because they're not sending out rental assistance fast enough. And Missouri could actually lose millions of dollars in federal rental assistance because they're not sending it out fast enough. As the end of September, the state of Missouri has only awarded 18% of the $323 million it has received as part of its COVID relief package approved last December. Joe McCormick shook her head and lifted her eyes to the ceiling. Quote, what is the holdup for getting the money sent directly to tenants? She is a tenant advocate with the nonprofit Action St. Louis, asked in the St. Louis new director of human services. But advocates say the situation at the state level is even more uncertain. Missouri is at risk of losing millions of dollars in federal rent assistance because it isn't getting the relief funds out to residents fast enough. At the end of September, the state had awarded only 18% of $323 million it received, as part of the Emergency Rental Assistance Program. Earlier this month, the U.S. Department of Treasury sent a letter to states and municipalities saying if it hasn't distributed 65% of the first batch of rental assistance funds by September 30th, they should submit an improvement plan to the Treasury by November 15th. None of this was mentioned Thursday during a meeting for the Missouri Housing Development Commission, the state agency tasked with administering these federal relief funds. Steve Whitson, Community Initiative Manager for MHDC, told commissioners during a virtual meeting that everything was looking very positive and on track, saying, quote, "The program is moving very well. We're pushing out more money every single week." And there was no mention of an intention to submit an improvement plan in 2 weeks, and none of the commissioners asked questions about this. Now, note that there is rent assistance dollars available in all 50 states, and I have a video showing you exactly how to apply for this. I will link you to that video at the end of this video. You can click on it, and it's free to apply, and all 50 states have rent assistance money available. And as you can see, a lot of these states have been slow to send it out, but they need to start sending it out even faster and even lowering the restrictions. Even if you've been denied in the past, you might want to apply again. You could get 3 months of your rent paid, 6 months of your rent paid, or 12 months of your rent paid. House Democrats are looking to put a final proposal or a changed, revised infrastructure / stimulus proposal put together today. Check this out. House Democrats eye a Tuesday vote on the infrastructure, physical infrastructure, and the safety net bills, the stimulus package. You can see here, House Democratic leaders have told lawmakers they hope to vote on President Biden's Build Back Better, the stimulus package, and the physical infrastructure bills on Tuesday, multiple sources told NBC News. They want to finish writing a revised $1.7 trillion stimulus package bill by Sunday, today. Then send it to the Rules Committee for approval on Monday by tomorrow. And hold votes in the full House of Representatives by Tuesday, sources said. So you can see here it's going to be a very important next few days. So they want to finish writing the bill possibly by as early as today, send it to the Rules Committee for approval possibly by tomorrow, and maybe vote on this by Tuesday. The timeline is ambitious, and lawmakers are still revising the safety net package to win the support of nearly every Democrat in the House and all 50 Democrats in the Senate. Remember, they need every single Democrat in the Senate to vote yes to pass the bill, and 99% of them in the House to pass the bill, or else they can't pass it. It is unclear whether they can resolve the lingering differences and achieve the near unanimity they need by then. But the new self-imposed deadline is an attempt to hasten the negotiations and finish the bill quickly. It would require the sign-off on centrist of Senator Joe Manchin and Senator Kyrsten Sinema. Dun, dun, dun. Who have forced significant cuts to the package to win their votes. It would also need support from progressive Senator Bernie Sanders, who said Biden's framework is missing some key pieces, and so have a lot of progressive Democrats. Still, competing House coalitions gave a thumbs up to the new timeline on Saturday, just 2 days after the White House released the $1.75 trillion framework in hopes of breaking the logjam. House progressives are on board with a Tuesday target, a Democratic aide said. A moderate new Democrat coalition is in support of passing both bills ASAP. Quote, "We've talked about both of these bills long enough. It's time to get them done. People are tired of the politics. It's time to deliver and show why we deserve the majority." One item emerging as a potential complication of the leadership's timeline is immigration. There's a lot of them. The Medicare items, the immigration, the prescription drug pricing, the possible stimulus checks. There's several different things that they're really still fighting about. Numerous House Democrats in competitive districts are reluctant, and the SALT tax are reluctant to vote for a bill that includes legalization if those provisions won't comply with Senate budget rules. They're talking about the parliamentarian here who ruled that some of the immigration shouldn't be included here, but they can overrule the parliamentarian. Remember that. And it's doubtful including the policies will pass muster with the Senate parliamentarian. But that's on the Senate side. Remember, the House can pass this. Whether Joe Manchin or not will overrule the parliamentarian is doubtful. But progressives and the Hispanic caucus and the Asian Pacific caucus are demanding it be included to signal to voters they are fighting to address the issue. In addition to the $1.75 trillion in other spending, the White House framework calls for $100 billion for immigration as Democrats seek to provide legal status and benefit several million undocumented people. We have a lot of Democrats, progressive Democrats from the House, and Senator Bernie Sanders, who's a progressive Democrat from the Senate, saying that the reconciliation framework was not enough to pass and that several different items are up for negotiation and more needs to be added, as well as that they really need either a full agreement that they're going to pass the stimulus package first or an agreement that they're going to have Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema's basic word that they will pass the stimulus package right after the physical infrastructure package. In fact, here is Pramila Jayapal, who is the leader of the Democratic Progressive Caucus. You can see from this headline here, one of the most powerful leaders on Capitol Hill right now. She's the leader of the Progressive Caucus, which is 96 Democrats in the House. Really kind of the main group battling Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema, who are moderate Democrats. Here's Pramila Jayapal.
Pramila Jayapal of Washington State. She is the chair of the House Progressive Caucus. Congresswoman, let me start right there with what Congressman Dean Phillips said, criticizing President Biden for not more directly telling House Democrats, I want you to go out there, I want you to vote for the bipartisan infrastructure package, and so I can go to this global summit with this in my hand. And when we come back, we're going to do the Build Back Better Act, and we're going to make everybody happy. Would that have done the trick? Might that have gotten the infrastructure bill passed?
Well, Jake, it's good to see you. Look, I think the president did a fantastic job. In fact, such a fantastic job that progressives, that's a 96-member caucus, by the way, not always easy to all vote together. We enthusiastically and unanimously endorsed the framework that the president laid out. And that is a big deal. It was not the full bill text, but we endorsed it in principle, despite the fact that we have things that we wish were in there. And so that's what we wanted to send him off to Europe with, because as Caitlin said, the important thing is that the Build Back Better framework, the Build Back Better Act, has over $500 billion investment in climate. It finally makes us a country that has universal childcare and pre-K, big investments in housing, really transformative investments in almost every arena. And that's what we wanted to make sure we sent the president off with. Now, we also believe, Jake, that we do need to make sure that we see the bill text, that everybody kind of has an opportunity to make sure that the framework is translated well. And that's what we were waiting for. And because we insisted on that, the legislative text was released finally yesterday. We are combing through a 1,600-page bill right now. And I really believe that within a few days, we will be able to pass both these bills through the House. And that will be an enormous accomplishment of the president, of all of us across the Democratic caucus, and certainly of progressives who were bold enough to say we're not going to leave anybody behind.
Right, but it's not a secret that House Speaker Nancy Pelosi wanted to bring the bipartisan infrastructure bill to the floor this week and then have the Build Back Better Act voted on when that is ready, and that did not happen. And you heard moderates like Congressman Dean Phillips and others saying President Biden should have told the Democrats, go vote on infrastructure. We want that now, and then we'll come back and do Build Back Better. I'm just asking you if you think if Biden had done that, if the president had done that, would that have made a difference? Would your caucus, enough members, have voted for the infrastructure bill?
I'm not sure that they would have, Jake. I mean, we have said for months, anybody that has been listening to us would know that we have been very clear that the two bills need to move together. Now, we've made a lot of compromises. We've been at the negotiating table. We backed off the idea of a Senate vote, which many of our members wanted. And we have said clearly, and I even signaled to the Speaker, to the White House, to everyone several days ago that we were not going to have the votes for just an infrastructure bill. The president recognized that, and he also recognized that it's important that we get both these bills done. That was his message to us. Get both these bills done, and everyone should vote for both of these bills. And I think that at the end of the day, progressives will actually be delivering both of these bills. And I know that the majority of our caucus will be excited that we are getting this done.
Do you think, based on your conversations with them, although you have to tell me who you've talked to in terms of Senator Sinema and Senator Manchin, do you think they will vote for the Build Back Better Act as it has been outlined and written?
Well, I've been speaking with both of them, and I'm not going to go into the conversations that I've had, but I will just say that my conversation with Senator Sinema yesterday was incredibly productive. And I believe she is really operating in good faith. I'm going to circle back with Senator Manchin. But here the key thing is, look, the Progressive Caucus took a leap of faith yesterday when we endorsed this proposal, and we also said we want both bills to move forward at the same time. When we said the president told us that he has every confidence that he will be able to get 50 votes for this, for the Build Back Better Act in the Senate. We do have to trust our president at this point, because I think that if he says to us he is going to get the 50 votes and he's confident he can get the 50 votes, then we'll do everything we can to sort of feel as comfortable as we can with it. But that is a bit of a leap of faith. He's also making a big commitment there, a public commitment that he is going to get this done. And I believe him. I trust him. He has done a tremendous amount of work to get to this point, and he has worked very closely with us because he understands that the Progressive Caucus is a significant portion of the Democratic Caucus. We are very clear. We have been straight shooters. We haven't tried to hoodwink anybody. Every time we've said we don't have the votes, we don't have the votes. And people should start listening to us when we say that. But we're just looking forward to getting both bills done and getting these transformative investments in front of people as quickly as possible.
Oh, we've been listening to you for months, Congresswoman. You know that. So let me.
I know you have, Jake.
Right. So you're the chair of the Progressive Caucus. Just a reminder of viewers, you're leading this fight for universal pre-K and affordable housing and more climate action, expanded health care. Not to mention, of course, this infrastructure bill also on the line. Will you at all feel responsible because you fought for all or nothing if the Democrats end up with nothing ultimately?
Oh, we're not going to end up with nothing. We're going to get this bill passed, and we're going to get it passed very soon.
Both bills?
Oh, yeah, both bills. We're going to get both bills passed very soon. And we will do our part in the House. And then obviously the two senators have to stick to what they need to do to deliver. And just remember, Jake, 96% of the Democratic Party was on board with a much bigger bill. But we understand that we have only 50 votes in the Senate. It is a very thin margin. We have only 3 votes to spare in the House. And we all have to work together. So I think we pushed and we pushed and we pushed. We got to the best possible place we could get to. And now we're ready to pass both bills through the House.
I hear on the 96%, but it's that 4% that makes you the majority. Democratic Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal, thank you. Great to see you as always. Thanks so much for joining.
So yeah, the timeline is really getting close here. From what they say, they're going to try to finish the text or the bill today. They're going to try to, again, I say try here because this is what they're, what the text said or what that article said and what they're trying to do. This does not mean it's going to necessarily happen this way. They're going to try to finish the bill today, send it to markup tomorrow to kind of go over it, and then try to vote on it on Tuesday in the House. Then it would have to go to the Senate. So, and possibly vote on the infrastructure package as well on Tuesdays. Things are really, really moving very fast. Then we'll have to see what is in the bill. Remember, things can change a lot at the very last moment. As of right now, we're expecting, from what we're seeing, again, things are changing very, very rapidly. The monthly checks for children are in the bill for 65 million children, $250 to $300 per month for 65 million children, $300 per month monthly stimulus checks that were in the third stimulus check package are going to be extended for one more year, called the child tax credits. I don't know why they don't just call them stimulus checks, but they call them child tax credits. Those are in there for one more year. They were originally looking to extend it for more years. They're only going to extend them for one more year. Remember, there's going to be another package after this. So in the next package, there's probably going to be a whole set of more things, and maybe they'll extend those even more. Um, but $300 per month for children ages 5 and under, and for children ages 6 through 17 at $250 per month. And no income restrictions or job restrictions are expected to be on that as of this point. Right now, Joe Manchin had suggested that. That is not in there as of right now. We're hoping that they will include a check for adults at this point, but no word on that as of right now. We have multiple different groups pushing for that. We're hoping that they might add something like that in here at the very last moment. We also have President Biden and Senator Bernie Sanders that have mentioned a $800 stimulus debit card for seniors for medical and dental. We'll have to see on that as well. That would be a nice little bonus that they would have added in here at the very last moment. I will keep you up to date on that. Hearing has been added in there for Medicare. We'll have to see if they can negotiate vision in there, which would be prescription eyeglasses in there, or any vision coverage in here at the very last moment as well. They're also trying to negotiate lower prescription drug prices as kind of a middle ground. It won't be for all prescriptions, new prescriptions, like new medications that have come on the market. But we'll have to see on that. Free preschool, pre-K is in there, as well as childcare will be free for some and no more than 7% for any family as well. Free community college is not in this package, will be in the next package. And as well as a possible Social Security raise in the next package, as Congress just introduced two massive bills to raise Social Security, but that was just done like 2 days ago. So I don't think that is going to make it in this package. That'll probably be in the next stimulus package. Remember that President Biden and Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer have confirmed there will be another stimulus package after this. Remember, this stimulus package is $1.75 trillion, which is exactly half of the $3.5 trillion they wanted. So they're basically just going to pass what they can agree on with this package and then come back around for the next stimulus package and pass whatever they can agree on with the next stimulus package. There's like $150 billion in there for affordable housing, elder care, and $25 billion more for rental assistance. There's a lot of rental assistance available right now. So they're going to try to send out as much as they can this year and throughout next year. And then there's going to be $25 billion more added in there. That's one of the big stimulus programs that is still ongoing. So if you haven't applied for rental assistance, and there's going to be all sorts of different things in this next package. Once they pass the package, we're going to have to see. There could be internet assistance, rent assistance. Who knows what type of other assistance programs could be in there. And once the bill gets passed, we'll have to see what could be available that you might be able to apply for and get. Because remember, we've literally had thousands of viewers on this show get rent assistance alone, and thousands of people got the internet assistance as well, $50 off your internet bill, that have gotten that as well. So I'll link you to a video on how to apply for rent assistance if you're low income, if you've been on unemployment, or if you're behind on rent, or if you've been affected by the pandemic. You should definitely apply for rent assistance. It's free to do so. And you just might get 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months of your rent paid. Just might take you an hour or two to do. And you just might find out several weeks later that you got your rent paid literally by the government for free. So that's what we do on this channel. We just literally tell you guys about all these different stimulus programs. that come from these stimulus packages. There's all sorts of different programs like this. There's also a heating program coming out. I'll have to let you guys know about that as I find out more information about that. You guys can get your heat paid for from the government as well. There's all sorts of different programs like this that are going to be coming out available. There's state stimulus check programs. 20 different states are doing stimulus type programs. I did a recent video on that. In fact, I'll link it to that video here in a moment as well. But make sure to subscribe down below. We're going to have a very big few days here coming up this week. So don't miss out on any videos. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, we'll have a special Halloween guest here later on today. So, yeah, you can click here to watch my new video about rent assistance and how to apply. Definitely check that video out if you haven't yet. And this video is about the 20 different states that are sending out stimulus checks on the state level. And there will be a lot more states doing that in the future. And I will keep you up to date on that as well. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.